This is welcome to my class. Welcome to Unacademy UPSC Articulate program. I'm Shilpa Nagaraju. I'll be taking you through 1 year current affairs on art and culture. So before we begin our class, please like and share the video, and also press the bell button for further notification and subscriptions. Before we begin the class, let's have a look at what is happening at Unacademy. This is India's most comprehensive UPSC test series, where you get 80 tests every year, 50 prelims tests, and where you get 20 full-length tests with 12 sectional tests and 8 topic-wise tests plus 30 mains tests. It is worth rupees 30,000 and it is free with 1 year subscription onwards. It is curated by top educators. The analysis is by top educators. It is curated as per the changing UPSC pattern. You can compete with the best in India. So the offer ends on 30th June. Please note, it will be uploaded from 4th July onwards and it is valid for iconic combo and GS programs. We have one subscription to Crack It All program. You can save big time on combo. You have 25% off with the optional and 10% if you use my referral code. Shilpa and 10 is my referral code. So you get 10% off if you use my code. Your 1 year subscription will be valid till mains 2022. 2 year subscription will be valid till mains 2023. Hurry up and get your subscription now. There are two types of subscriptions. One is GS plus optional. The other one is iconic GS plus optional. There is a huge slash in the prices. Use my referral code Shilpa and 10 for additional 10% discount. The offer lasts on June 23rd. So hurry up. So weekly one-on-one personal mentoring program is happening and the offer will be last on June 23rd. This is India's best program to crack UPSC. You have only limited seats, that is 100 only. You have daily in-person doubt solving session with monthly AMA sessions with top educators. UPSC interview attended coaches will be guiding you, and this is a community of high potential aspirants and your chances to clear UPSC CSE are very high with this. So look at the coaches who will be guiding you here in this personal mentoring program. So the batch starts from June 30th and the offer lasts on June 23rd. So the coach allotment is done on first come first serve basis. So don't delay and hurry up for the subscription. Use my code for additional discounts. UPSC CSE Maha subscription offer is happening at Unacademy, where you get extended subscription. 1 year plan will be valid till mains 2022. 2 year plan is valid till mains 2023. You can apply my code Shilpa and 10 and it is valid. The offer is going to end soon, so go for this soon and hurry up. If you have any financial problems, you can chase your UPSC dream by availing loan for UPSC preparation on Unacademy, and nothing can stop you. You can even avail the loans here. It has 0 processing fees, 0% interest rate, and approval will be in 2 hours. There is no hidden charges, minimal paperwork, and flexible tenures. You can use the link and use the form in the description section to avail the loan. So UPSC CSE Ultimate Surprise is happening with 20 books created by best UPSC experts. The books are worth rupees 10,000. It comes free with 1 year subscription and onwards. It has 100% syllabus completion with highly structured for ease of learning. This is created by the best UPSC experts and previous year questions are included. It is updated with current affairs. So it starts from July 3rd week. It is valid only on GS, iconic and combo subscriptions. You have an Unacademy Combat Scholarship test every Sunday at 11 AM. You can win scholarships worth rupees 4 crore. The tests are in Hindi and English. 60 questions in 60 minutes. It is free live test from your Android app. Enroll now using my code Shilpa and 10. New batches are starting for UPSC CSE 2021, 22 and 23 aspirants. It is starting from 23rd June. Look at the batches: 1 year batches, 2 year batches, and Phoenix revision batches for UPSC CSE. All this are starting from 23rd June. So use my code for additional discounts and go for these programs. It will benefit for you to clear UPSC. So there is Iconic Plus program with personal guidance, study planner, study material, experts guidelines and test analysis. You have live classes here, weekly tests, unlimited access with structured courses. So there's two types of subscription. One is plus subscription, the other one is Iconic subscription. Look at the plus subscription where you get different tenures with different payments, fees, and the other one is Iconic subscription where you get different tenures and different fees. So check which is feasible for you. There's also UPSC CSE optional combo where you can get UPSC CSE GS Plus optional here. So pick a plan which is good for you and go for your preparations. So let's crack it with Unacademy. Let's begin today's class on art and culture and news. The first question is about Renati Cholas. Now you have heard in my previous classes we have spoken about Cholas. चोलास के बारे में हम जान चुके हैं, वो संगम टाइम से है and they are one of the longest serving dynasty in the world history. तो उनके बारे में हम जान चुके हैं. ये चोलास कौन है? There were different bits in संगम एज में एक फैमिली रूल कर रहे थे, उसके बाद गैप हो गया, they became feudatories, they became small traders, rulers and merchants and all. Later again they became big and again they fell down, again they became big and they fell down. There were different branches of Cholas. तो ये है रेनाटी चोलास. अभी रेना, अगर कोई तेलुगु फैमिलीज तेलुगु फिल्म्स बहुत फॉलो करते हैं तो उनको पता चलता है कि यार ये रेनाटी तो तेलुगु एरिया में होंगे, है ना. सो ये रेनाटी चोलास बेसिकली वर रूलिंग दिस तेलुगु लैंड और द तेलुगु रीजन. सो कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स विद रिस्पेक्ट टू रेनाटी चोलास एंड देव आस्क्ड हियर फॉर करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. The Telugu Cholas of Renadu, they ruled over Renadu region, the present day Kadapa district. So they ruled in the present day Kadapa district. Just a minute. Am I seen here? Okay. So with reference to Renati Cholas, consider the following statements. The Telugu Cholas of Renadu, they ruled over Renadu region, the present day Kadapa district. This is the question. Just a second, there is some technical issue. Okay. So with reference to Renati Cholas, we are talking, the first statement is about Telugu Cholas of Renadu. They ruled over the Renadu region, the present day Kadapa district. I told you this Kadapa district, the Renati is near this Kadapa district. Renadu Cholas were not the feudatories of the Chola dynasty. This is actually wrong. They were the feudatories of this Cholas. So ये wrong है. ये wrong statement they have given. They are said to be the first kingdom to use Telugu in administration and inscriptions instead of Sanskrit. तो ये first kingdom है जो तेलुगु को administration and inscriptions में use किए हैं instead of Sanskrit. So ये statements रेनाडी चोलास के ऊपर है. तो they were ruling the present day Kadapa district. They were the feudatories of the Chola dynasty and they're the first kingdom to use Telugu in administration and inscriptions instead of Sanskrit. तो second statement is wrong. तो आप first statement or third statement is correct. So the correct answer is 1 and 3, that is C. See here, the Telugu Cholas of Renadu or the Renati Cholas, they ruled over this Renadu region, that is the present day Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. The earliest of this family was Nandi Varman, who ruled during 500 AD. Renadu Cholas were the feudatories of the Chola dynasty. I told you there were many branches of Chola. There were many branches. They rose, they fell, they rose, they fell, and the roots were... There were a lot of branches. The roots did not die. These kings claimed that they belonged to the Karikala Cholas dynasty. They belonged to Karikala Cholas dynasty was their claim. They are said to be the first kingdom to use Telugu in administration inscriptions instead of Sanskrit. So ये है रेनाटी चोलास के बारे में. Now why they were in news? अभी suddenly मैं क्यों रेनाटी चोलास के बारे में पूछूंगी, है ना? So why they were in news? A rare inscription which was dating back to the Renati Chola era has been unearthed in a remote village of Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. Now it was in news because they found a rare inscription which belonged to this Renati Chola era in a remote village of Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. इसके वजह से ये Renati Cholas were in news. The inscription was found engraved on a dolomite slab and shale, which are part of a fragmentary pillar excavated from a farmer's field. So this inscription was engraved on a dolomite slab and shale, and they were part of a fragmented pillar which was excavated from a farmer's field. The dolomite is a sedimentary carbonate rock which is composed mainly of calcium magnesium carbonate. Shales or mudstone is a fine-grained sedimentary rock that forms from the compaction of silt and clay-size mineral particles. So the inscription was written in archaic Telugu. Archaic means classical Telugu. Archaic Telugu means old Telugu or the classical Telugu. It was assigned to the 8th century AD, when the region was under the rule of Chola Maharaja of Renadu. So when the region was under the Chola Maharaja of Renadu, this inscription was done, and it's written in archaic Telugu, and it is on a dolomite slab and shale, and it belonged to 8th century. It's found in Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. The inscription seems to throw light on the record of a gift of 6 martus, that is a measuring unit. See, here you should remember this unit, martus. They might ask you, like, the term martus is related to dash dash dash. 4 ऑप्शंस देंगे आप. करेक्ट आंसर है मेजरिंग यूनिट. आप प्लीज ये टर्म्स के बारे में थोड़ा जानकारी रखिएगा. Just note down and put a red light on it, red highlighter on it, so that it is very important. It is a measuring unit which was used by this Renati Cholas. Of land to a Brahmin priest, some lines are indicative of the priority given to morality in those days. Some things they have written about the normal moralities, the society, administration, and they have written. In July 2020, the Archaeological Survey of India had found the exact location of Renati Chola's capital in Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. So in July 2020, Archaeological Survey of India, I had made in my previous class, I have told you what is this Archaeological Survey of India. They had found the exact location of Renati Chola's capital in the Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. Now we got an inscription which is written in archaic Telugu about the land measurement. Martus was a land measurement. It was a land given to the Brahmin priest. It belonged to Chola Maharaja of Renadu, and it belonged to 8th century. Please remember, these Renati Cholas were the feudatories of the Chola dynasty. So look at the inscription here, the rare inscription found. It is written on dolomite slab and shale. It's written in archaic Telugu. So this is about the Renati Telugu Cholas. The earliest member was Nandi Varman. He belonged to 500 AD. They were the feudatories of the Chola dynasty. The Chola dynasty is one of the longest serving dynasty in the world history. They rose, they fell, they rose, they fell. They had different branches, but the roots did not die. So please remember about this Cholas, the longest serving dynasty in the world. And we got to know why it was in news, because of the findings of a rare inscription which dated back to this era. 8th century में ये लिखा हुआ था. It is just a record of a gift of some 6 martus. Martus is a measuring unit used in this Chola period. The inscription is written in archaic Telugu. So it has also written some lines about the morality of those days. So we also found in July 2020, the archaeological survey had found the exact location of the Renati Chola's capital in the Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. So this is about the inscription found of this Renati Cholas and about the inscription. So next our topic is about Hampi. Hampi, I think many of you would have gone or you'd have seen in some documentaries or some films or in papers, or you'd have just learnt in your history. So Hampi was the news. That's why I've took it in art and culture and news topic. Here they've asked about incorrect statement. I've always told you, after reading the first line, check out whether they've asked for correct statement or incorrect statement. So this has been a repeated saying by me. After seeing the first line, आप देख लीजिए कि whether they've asked for correct statement or incorrect statement. It was the first capital of the last great Hindu kingdom of Vijayanagara. Very much correct. Very much correct. So it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. No, this is not correct. This is wrong. It is actually the last capital of the last great Hindu kingdom of Vijayanagara. So this is wrong. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Very much true. So it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So incorrect statement है तो आप किधर भी two statement है तो आप erase कर सकते हो. Its name is derived from Pampa Nadi, which is the old name of Kaveri river on whose banks the city is built. ये wrong है क्योंकि Pampa is the old name of Tungabhadra and it is not Kaveri. Kaveri तो इधर नहीं है. If this is South India and you have Karnataka here, please don't. I'm just giving you a rough idea. If there is Ballari here, Ballari in this region and Mysore in this region, then Kaveri flows here near Mysore and it goes to Tamil Nadu. Where will Kaveri flow in the Ballari region, which is in central Karnataka? It's not possible at all. So it is Tungabhadra. So Pampa is the old name of Tungabhadra. So they have asked for incorrect statement. It is 1 and 3. देखिए, it is the last capital of the last great Hindu kingdom of South India, that is Vijayanagara. It is the last capital, not the first capital. Actually, Vijayanagara is the last great Hindu kingdom of South India. They were formed by Harihara and Bukka on the banks of river Pampa for the revival of Hinduism, because the Mughal sultans were ruling there, and the sultans of Bijapur, the Golcondas, Nizams, everyone were there. So they wanted to revive Hinduism in this region. So Saint Vidyaranya made this Hakka Bukka to form this Vijayanagara kingdom. So this is the last capital of last great Hindu kingdom of Vijayanagara. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The name is derived from the river Pampa, which is the old name of Tungabhadra river on whose banks the city is built. So please remember why it was in news. The Ministry of Tourism recently organized their latest webinar titled Hampi, Inspired by the Past, Going into the Future under देखो अपना देश वेबिनार सीरीज. अभी तो कोविड-19 की वजह से सब कुछ बंद है, तो टूरिज्म मिनिस्ट्री वांट्स टू प्रमोट इट. लाइक अगर यार लॉकडाउन ओपन हो जाएगा और टूरिज्म सब खुला हो जाएगा, तो आप लोग सब ये वेबिनार सीरीज से इंस्पिरेशन लेके आप ये सब जगह घूमो. इसके वजह से they have done this देखो अपना देश वेबिनार सीरीज. That is Ministry of Tourism had organized this. देखो अपना देश webinar series is an effort to showcase India's rich diversity under एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत program. आप सबको पता है कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का बहुत प्यारा प्रोग्राम है ये, एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत प्रोग्राम, क्योंकि वी वांट यूनिटी इन डिवर्सिटी इन आवर कंट्री. सो ये देखो अपना देश वेबिनार सीरीज इज एन एफर्ट टू शोकास इंडियाज रिच डिवर्सिटी इन दिस वेबिनार सीरीज. सो जो भी देखेंगे वेबिनार सीरीज तो उनको इंटरेस्ट आएगा. देखो इतना वेराइटीज और इतना डाइवर्सिटी है हमारे कंट्री में, और हम तो देखते ही नहीं है. तो आफ्टर लॉकडाउन भाई और बहनों, आप सब लोग प्लीज put on your shoes and pack your bags and go and see the places you love to. So this is the intention of Ministry of Tourism, and इसके वजह से ये देखो अपना देश वेबिनार सीरीज लॉन्च किए हैं. एंड ये सीरीज के अंदर बहुत जगह they are giving this webinar on different places. Hampi is one of them. We saw Hyderabad, we saw Punjab, we saw many other places also in news. We saw even Khajuraho. So please check out this देखो अपना देश वेबिनार सीरीज by the Ministry of Tourism. ये क्वेश्चन आ सकता है क्योंकि ये तो बहुत हिट सीरीज हो गया है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ टूरिज्म का. So it is under एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत प्रोग्राम, the pet project of प्रधानमंत्री जी. So please check out about this programs. There are so many places which will help you in your UPSC preparations too, है ना. So in 1336 century, the Vijayanagara Empire rose from the ruins of Kampili Kingdom. The Kampili Kingdom was ruined because of the Muslim attacks. So ये Kampili Kingdom के ruins के अंदर ये Vijayanagara Empire arose in 1336. It grew into one of the famed Hindu empires of South India that ruled for nearly 200 years. When Hakka had formed this kingdom of Vijayanagara, they too didn't even think that this kingdom or this empire will go on to become one of the most famed Hindu empire of South India, and it will rule the region for over 200 years. वो भी नहीं सोचे होंगे. The site used to be multi-religious and multi-ethnic. There was a lot of religious tolerance in this kingdom, and there were many monuments, architecture. There was a lot of achievement in all the spheres, be it art, architecture, literature, religion, what not. Even the kingdom expanded so great. It had gone till Narmada. It had gone till the southern parts of the Indian country. So it was multi-religious, it was multi-ethnic. It included Hindu, Jaina. Where is this? Okay, it included Hindu and Jain monuments next to each other. We saw this in my morning class. हिंदू और जैन का जो अंश, हिंदू रिलीजन और जैन रिलीजन का अंश जो है, we will see it in one more monument today. We saw it in Khajuraho too. Even in Khajuraho, which was built by Chandela rulers in Madhya Pradesh, उधर भी आपको हिंदू और जैन का अंश दिखता है, the religious tolerance. तो इधर भी आपको हिंदू और जैन monuments next to each other आपको दिखता है, क्योंकि Jainism was very much famous in Karnataka those days. Buddhism was not that famous, but Jainism actually it thrived in southern India because of Chandragupta Maurya and his followers. They came to Shravanabelagola in Karnataka during the I think famine in Stulabahu and Bhadrabahu. You know the differences, I don't want to get into it, but Karnataka had huge number of Jain followers because of the means like during this famine, Chandragupta Maurya, he gave up his throne and he came down to south in the Shravanabelagola region, and because of him the Jain philosophy it spread here in Karnataka. So it has been described by the UNESCO as an austere, grandiose site of more than 1,600 surviving remains of the last great Hindu kingdom in South India, that is Vijayanagara. So they say in the UNESCO, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You should see the grandiose here in Hampi. It has more than 1,600 surviving remains of the last great Hindu kingdom in South India, that is Vijayanagara, which was formed by Harihara Harihara and Bukka in 1336 on the ruins of Kampili kingdom under the guidance of Saint Vidyaranya. Saint Vidyaranya was the main person who became the guru and the guide for them. So the buildings here predominantly followed the South Indian Hindu arts and architecture dating to the Aihole Pattadakal styles, but the Hampi builders also used elements of Indo-Islamic architecture in the Lotus Mahal, the public bath and the elephant stables. Here, please remember, they had their own contributions to the South Indian architecture. They had this Kalyana Mantapas. They have asked already in the UPSC prelims too. The Kalyana Mantapas were the feature added to the Dravidian style of architecture by which kingdom they had asked. It is this Vijayanagara kingdom. So please remember about these great kingdom. The 15th century Virupaksha temple is one of the oldest monuments of the town. Hemakunta Hill, which is the south of Virupaksha temple, contains early ruins, Jain temples and monolithic sculptures of Lord Narasimha, a form of Lord Vishnu. Vittal temple, built in 6th century, is now a World Heritage Monument. The columns of the temple are so balanced that have their musical quality. They say these pillars, you know, if you operate them or if you use them, means if you touch them at proper points and use them at proper notes, you will have the music coming out from these pillars. Musical pillars, they say. I have been to Hampi and you can see it. It's really beautiful. This is the Ratha, the stone chariot of Hampi, the famous stone chariot of Hampi. Like this, you have 1600 ruined monuments. That much ornaments they are. Every stone speaks. So this is about Hampi. It was the last capital of the last great Hindu kingdom of Vijayanagara. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The name of Hampi is derived from Pampa Nadi. Pampa is the whole name of Tungabhadra river on whose banks the city was built. This was in news because the Ministry of Tourism had organized Dekho Apna Desh webinar series where they showcased this Hampi. It was inspired by this past. Going on to the future was a topic about this Hampi, and they did a webinar on Hampi because of its richness in art and architecture. And this Dekho Apna Desh webinar series is an effort by the Ministry of Tourism to showcase the India's rich diversity under Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat program. Now you should know about Vijayanagara Empire. It arose from the ruins of Kampili kingdom in 1336 under the guidance of Saint Vidyaranya, and it was founded by two brothers, Harihara and Bukka. The founders themselves did not know that this kingdom will be one of the most famed Hindu empire of South India, and it will rule for over 200 years. It had multi-religious and multi-ethnic tolerance attitude. You can see Hindu and Jain monuments side by side. UNESCO World Heritage Site hai, and UNESCO has said it's an austere, grandiose site of more than 1600 surviving remains of the last great Hindu kingdom in South India. They predominantly follow the South Indian Hindu arts and architecture dating to the Aihole Pattatkal styles, but the Hampi builders also used the elements of Indo-Islamic architecture. Look at the tolerance they had in the Lotus Mahal, the public bath and the elephant pillars. So 15th century Virupaksha temple is one of the oldest monuments. You have Hemakunta Hill and it contains early ruins, Jain temples, monolithic sculptures of Lord Narasimha, who is a form of Vishnu. Then Vittala temple is there. Virupaksha temple is different. Vittal temple is different. Vittal temple is now a World Heritage Monument. They have pillars, columns of the temple which produce music quality. So this is a stone chariot of Hampi, the very famous stone chariot of Hampi. So this is about Hampi. Remember, Dekho Apna Desh webinar series is under Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat program, and it is a flagship program of Ministry of Tourism. तो अनलॉक होने के हिसाब से आप सब पैक करके जाइएगा ये सब जगह पे. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. We had Sri Narayana Guru in news. We had this great man, Sri Narayana Guru in news. Sri Narayana Guru was in news and they've asked for correct statement here. He preached the oneness of humanity, crossing the boundaries of caste and creed. Every word in a statement is very important. आप please ध्यान रख के पढ़िएगा when you are answering in a test. Practice from now. Attend the PYQ session. I have my PYQ session from 4 o'clock to 5 at Unacademy platform. Please don't miss, don't neglect previous year questions because it is very very important. अब उधर I'll 100% bet you might be thinking I will solve it so easily. Please attend one of my session PYQs. It is so difficult to crack. You maybe it's your mind which says like you know everything, but it's not true. So please attend PYQ sessions. So with reference to Sri Narayana Guru, consider the following statements. He preached the oneness of humanity, crossing the boundaries of caste and creed. Yes, he did. He installed an idol of Shiva at Aravipuram in Kerala, and this became the Aravipuram movement of Kerala. It was very famous all over India, and installed the idol of Shiva there. He also founded an Advaita ashrama in Kaladi. Kaladi आपको सबको पता है, it is a birthplace of great Adi Shankaracharya. तो उधर एक अद्वैत आश्रम श्री नारायण गुरु ने एस्टैब्लिश किए हैं. He installed an idol of Shiva at Aravipuram in Kerala to say Aravipuram movement हो गया था वो क्योंकि he wanted to prove that it is not only the Brahmins who are going to install idols and worship it, but it is also the right of everyone. It's a right of everyone. You and I can also install an idol and worship. That was the idea. He wanted to promote the oneness of humanity. He belonged to Ilava caste of the Kerala society. They were considered very low. We also spoke about Mahatma Ayanakali. वो भी बहुत lower caste के थे और जब honor killings are happening here now, even now, so just imagine those days how difficult these men would have faced to bring about such changes. वो तो radical है ना, ये तो सब radical है. You under this caste system, he is installing an idol of Shiva at Aravipuram in Kerala, and he is challenging the Brahmins that it is not only you who has the privilege to worship the god, but we also install and we will worship. तो ये तो बहुत radical हो गया था उस time पे. Sorry. So this is right. He founded an Advaita ashrama in Kaladi in Kerala, where it is the birthplace of Adi Shankaracharya, who gave the world Advaita philosophy. So the great man himself was against this caste system. So how can you people follow this करके ये उन्होंने एक अद्वैत आश्रम establish किए थे केरला के कालड़ी में. तो ये सब सही statements है. Look at the solution here. He led a reform movement in Kerala. He rejected casteism and promoted new values of spiritual freedom and social equality. हमारे सबको, we all want freedom. We want equality. The same thing he promoted. At those times it was radical. Today, even today it is radical. He stressed the need for the spiritual and social upliftment of the downtrodden by their own efforts through the establishment of temples and educational institutions. In the process, he denounced the superstitions that clouded the fundamental Hindu cultural convention of caste. He preached the oneness of humanity, crossing the boundaries of caste and creed. In 1888, he installed an idol of Shiva at Aravipuram in Kerala in his effort to show that the consecration of God's image was not a monopoly of the Brahmins. This popularly became this Aravipuram movement. In one temple he consecrated at Kalavankode, he kept mirrors instead of idols. This symbolizes his message that divine was within each individual, like how Basavanna said, every individual has a temple in himself and he should worship that great that divine in us. So he wanted to say that a divine is always within an individual and you need not have to, idolize it and puja path karo. तो it was, he wanted to showcase that individual के अंदर, हर एक के अंदर इंसान, हर एक इंसान के अंदर भगवान है, ये वो सबको बोलना चाहते थे. He also founded an Advaita ashram in Kaladi in Kerala. He lent his support to Vaikom Satyagraha, which was aimed at temple entry in Travancore for the lower caste. Mahatma Gandhi met Guru at this time. So, ये Vaikom Satyagraha actually aimed for temple entry in Travancore for the lower caste. Here Mahatma Gandhi also participated. So, he met Sri Narayana Guru at this Vaikom Satyagraha. This is about Sri Narayana Guru. He was in news because it was 164th birth anniversary of Sri Narayana Guru. It was observed on 2nd September. Narayana Guru was a social reformer. He has been credited with transforming the social fabric of Kerala, changing the beliefs of Keralites in ways unimaginable at that point of time. I already told you, ये तो बहुत radical belief था एंड रेडिकल रिफॉर्म के बारे में ये सोचते थे. तो उस टाइम का सोशल फैब्रिक जो था वो टू ब्रेक दैट सोशल फैब्रिक वाज क्वाइट unimaginable at that point of time. He was born to Irava family in an era where people from such communities were regarded as avarna. They faced so much social injustice in the caste-ridden society of Kerala. So they were avarnas, or they did not have this varna at all. तो बहुत नीचे देखते थे समाज उनको. तो he was a social reformer from the Kerala state. Please remember, he rejected casteism. He wanted to promote new values of spiritual freedom and social equality. He mainly worked for spiritual and social upliftment of the downtrodden, and by their own efforts to the establishment of temples and educational institutions. He actually denounced superstitions that clouded the fundamental Hindu cultural convention of caste. He preached the oneness of humanity. He crossed the boundaries of caste and creed. He installed an idol of Shiva at Aravipuram in Kerala in his effort to show that the consecration of God's image was not a monopoly of the Brahmins. This is popularly known as Aravipuram movement. He consecrated the Calavan code. He kept mirrors instead of idols. This symbolized his message that the divine was within each individual. He also established Advaita ashram in Kaladi of Kerala. He lent his support to Vaikom Satyagraha. ये Vaikom Satyagraha था for supporting the temple entry movements of the lower castes. महात्मा गांधी के साथ ये मिले उस टाइम पे. ठीक है. So this is Sri Narayana Guru. ये है श्री नारायण गुरु. Okay, let's go to the next topic. We will talk about Dr. Radhakrishnan. Dr. Radhakrishnan के बारे में हम जानेंगे. They have asked the question about him. They have asked for correct statement here. He was India's first vice president, yes, and second president, yes. It is correct. His philosophy was grounded in Dvaita Vedanta. ये द्वैता वेदांता के बारे में नहीं बोले हैं, पर अद्वैत वेदांता के बारे में बोले हैं. तो ये है wrong statement. He was one of the founders of Help Age India, a renowned NGO for elderly underprivileged in India. ये तो correct statement है. तो 1 and 3 are the correct statement, which lands you in option C. So he was in news. Dr. Radhakrishnan was in news because Teachers' Day is observed annually on September 5th. The day commemorates the birth anniversary of Radhakrishnan. He was born on September 5, 1888 in Tamil Nadu. He was India's first vice president and second president. His philosophy and literary works, he wrote a book, The Philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore. It attracted global attention to Indian philosophy. His philosophy was grounded in Advaita Vedanta. He defended Hinduism against uninformed Western criticism. See, without knowing a religion or without knowing properly what it is, you cannot just criticize. So he defended Hinduism against uninformed Western criticism. He played a major role in the formation of contemporary Hindu identity. See, because he wrote a book on philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore, also he had written so many philosophical books, especially based on Advaita Vedanta. So he was actually in a very great role in contemporary, in the formation of contemporary Hindu identity. His other works include Indian philosophy, the philosophy of the Upanishads, an idealist view of life, Eastern religions and Western thought, East and West, some reflections. All this were written by him. He was actually awarded by Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award, in 1954. He received a knighthood in 1931, honorary membership of the British Royal Order of Merit in 1963. He was elected the chairman of UNESCO's Executive Board in 1948. He was one of the founders of Helpage India, a renowned NGO for elderly underprivileged in India. He had also formed the Krishnarpan Charity Trust along with Ghanshyam Das Birla and some other social workers in the pre-independence era. So he had also formed, he was elected chairman of UNESCO's Executive Board in 1948. He had received a knighthood in 1931, honorary membership of the British Royal Order of Merit in 1963, also Bharat Ratna, the India's highest civilian award, in 1954. He was also one of the founders of Helpage India, a renowned NGO for elderly and underprivileged in India. He had also formed the Krishnarpan Charity Trust along with Ghanshyam Das Birla and some other social workers in the pre-independence era. He was the first Indian to hold a chair at the University of Oxford, the Spalding Professor of Eastern Religion and Ethics in 1936 to 52. In 1930, he was appointed Haskell Lecturer in Comparative Religion at the University of Chicago. So look at his achievements. We can't even touch 1% of what he has achieved. That's why he is given or awarded the Bharat Ratna in the year 1954 because of so many work. Knighthood, Royal Order of Merit, UNESCO's Executive Board, my chairman, NGO, वो भी renowned NGO, Helpage India, Krishnarpan Charity Trust with Ghanshyam Das Birla, and so many social work. Great. So this is about Dr. Radhakrishnan. So we observe every September 5th as Teachers' Day, commemorating the birth anniversary of Radhakrishnan. He was born on September 5, 1888 in Tirutani in Tamil Nadu. He was India's first Vice President and second President. He has written a lot of books on philosophy, and he has been credited to have played a major role in the formation of contemporary Hindu identity. So his philosophy was grounded with Advaita Vedanta. So he is Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, the great man. Okay, let's go to the next topic, that is Yanomamis. So this community, Yanomamis, were in news. So they've asked here about the Yanomamis and they've asked the correct statement about them. They live in the rainforests and mountains of northern Brazil and southern Venezuela. Yes, they are in the rainforests of Brazil and Venezuela. It is a Yanomami custom that a hunter eats the meat he has killed. Actually, no. Here they have a custom that if I kill an animal, I will not eat that meat. If I kill some animal, the others will eat. So I will not eat that meat. The Yanomami consider all people to be equal and they do not have a chief. So they believe everyone is equal. So they do not have any chief. So these are the salient features about this Yanomami. They live in the rainforests and mountains of northern Brazil and southern Venezuela. They have a custom that if a hunter kills an animal, उस एनिमल का मीट ये नहीं खाएगा, दूसरे खाएंगे. एंड दे बिलीव इन इक्वालिटी एंड दे डोंट हैव एनी चीफ. So the correct statement is 1 and 3, which is C. Since the 1980s, the Yanomami have been facing an onslaught from illegal gold miners. So they have been in news because of the onslaught from illegal gold miners. It is believed that gold mined illegally in Yanomami land has most likely been coming to India since at least 2018. So the gold, blood gold they called, this gold which is mined illegally in this Yanomami land, it has been coming to India since 2018. That's why it has put it in news. Calling the gold mined there as blood gold, they have recently asked the Indian government to stop buying this gold. So seeing this gold as blood gold, they have asked the Indian government to stop buying such illegally mined gold from Yanomami land. They live in the rainforests and mountains of northern Brazil and southern Venezuela and are, according to Survival International, they are the largest relatively isolated tribe in South America. They live in large circular houses called llanos or shabonos, some of which can hold up to 400 people. It's a Yanomami custom that a hunter does not eat the meat he has killed. They consider all people to be equal and they do not have a chief. Instead, all decisions are based on consensus after long discussions and debates. So, the decisions are based on consensus after long discussions and debates, and everyone is treated equal. Each voice has been heard. It is like, direct democracy. है ना, वो जो स्विट्जरलैंड में प्रैक्टिस होता है डायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी. सो द सेम वे दिस इज लाइक कंसेंसस. महाजनपदा के टाइम में भी ये चालू था कि एवरीवन वर कंसिडर्ड इक्वल एंड whatever decisions they used to take, everything used to be consensus. There would be long discussions and debates. The same type of institution we saw Afghanistan में और लोया जिरगा के बारे में हम पढ़े थे. Of course it's quite different, but a consensus was formed among all the participants there. So these are the Yanomamis. They live in the rainforests of Brazil and Venezuela. Look at them. Actually issue क्या है, ये लोग को लॉट करके illegally gold have been mined from their land, and that has been coming to India since 2018. And these people, they have got to know about this and they call it as blood gold. They have requested the Indian government, kindly please do not buy such blood golds which has been taken on onslaught from our gold mines. So this has been in news. And please remember, they live in the rainforests and mountains of northern Brazil and southern Venezuela, and they are largest relatively isolated tribes in South America. They live in large circular houses called llanos or shabonos, and some of which can hold nearly 400 people. In their custom, the hunter cannot kill the cannot eat the meat of the animal he has killed. They consider everyone equal and they don't have a chief. They will decide any decisions to be taken will be based on the consensus after long discussions and debates. So please know about this Yanomami people and why they were in news. Look at this Yanomami people. Okay, let's go to the next and the last topic of the day, that is Gobind Ballabh Pant. They asked for correct statement here. He was the first Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Yes, he served as India's Home Minister from 1955 to 61. Yes, it was during his tenure that the states were reorganized on linguistic lines. So, it is all three of them. Of the three statements are correct. This is about Gobind Ballabh Pant. He was the first Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. ये सेंट्रल का होम मिनिस्टर भी काम कर चुके हैं from 1955 to 61, and under his home ministership the states were reorganized on linguistic lines. He was in news because it was his 133rd birth anniversary. It was observed on 10th September. Pant was born in 1887 in what is now Uttarakhand at Almora. In Kashipur, he established an organization called Prema Sabha that started working towards several reforms. So, in Uttarakhand में इन काशीपुर में ये एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ओपन किए थे, उसके नाम था प्रेम सभा. ये प्रेम सभा में गोविंद बल्लभ पंत started working on several reforms. He also saved a school from shutting down due to non-payment of taxes to the British government. So he had, during this British times, he had saved a school from shutting down due to non-payment of taxes. In December 1921, he was elected to the Legislative Assembly of United Provinces of Agra and Oudh, which he was later named as Uttar Pradesh. He was elected as a candidate of the स्वराज्य पार्टी from नैनीताल. आप सब लोग को स्वराज्य पार्टी के बारे में पता है. Can you please leave in the comments who were the main leaders of this Swaraj party? Who are the founders of this Swaraj party? Please write down in the comment who was the founders of the Swaraj party. In 1937 provincial elections which was held under the Government of India Act 1935, Pant was appointed the Premier. He served the post till 1939 when all Congress ministers resigned after the British committed India to the Second World War of its own accord. In the United Provinces election which was held in 1946, Pant was once again appointed as the Premier. He became the first Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. He served as India's Home Minister from 1955 to 1961. It was during his tenure that states were reorganized on linguistic lines. During his tenure, he raised several important issues like the need to abolish the zamindari system, championed the cause of forest preservation. He also worked to protect farmers from excessive rents which was levied by the British government. He encouraged many cottage industries in the country, raised his voice against the coolie beggar law which forced porters to transport the heavy luggage of British officials without any payment. Following Gandhi's footsteps, Pant also organized a massive salt movement in the United Provinces. He was arrested and held at Dehradun jail. He also protested against the Simon Commission. He was always against a separate electorate for minorities, saying the step would further divide the communities. So he is the great man, that is Govind Ballabh Pant. He is also awarded Bharat Ratna. So he was the first Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. He served as Union Home Minister from 1955 to 61. Under his tenure, the states were reorganized on linguistic lines. During his tenure itself, many issues were addressed, that is abolition of zamindari system, cause he wanted to go for forest preservations. He worked to protect the farmers from excessive rents which was levied by the British government. He also encouraged the cottage industries. He raised his voice against the coolie beggar law. This actually forced porters to transport heavy luggage of British officials without any payment. He also had organized a mass salt movement in the United Provinces following Gandhi's footsteps, that is during Dandi March. He was arrested and was held at Dehradun jail. He also protested against the Simon Commission. He was always against a separate electorate for minorities, that it will divide the communities. So this is about Govind Ballabh Pant. He was in news because his 133rd anniversary was observed on 10th September. So please remember about his organization, that is Prem Sabha. प्रेम सभा के वजह से उन्होंने बहुत रिफॉर्म्स लेकर आए हैं. He had also saved a school from shutting down due to non-payment of taxes to the British government. He was elected in the Legislative Assembly of United Provinces of Agra and Oudh, which later became Uttar Pradesh. He was also a candidate of Swaraj Party from Nainital. So please remember about this great man, Govind Ballabh Pant. We saw this Yanomami tribes who are in news because they had requested the Indian government not to buy this gold mined from their Yanomami land, which is also known as blood gold, because they have been facing an onslaught from illegal gold miners. This gold has been mined illegally from their land and it is coming to India from 2018. So they have recently asked the Indian government, please stop buying this illegal gold which has been mined from us illegally. So where do they live? They live in the rainforests and mountains of northern Brazil and southern Venezuela. According to Survival International, they are the largest relatively isolated tribes in South America. They live in large circular houses called llanos or shabonos, in which 400 tribes or 400 people live. They have a custom that the hunter cannot eat the meat of the animal he killed himself, and they also consider everyone equal and there will be no chief. Any decisions they have to make, they will go through long discussions and debates and they will go on with consensus. So we saw about Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan ji. He was in news because Teachers' Day is observed annually on September 5th. The day commemorates the birth anniversary of Radhakrishnan. He was born on 1888 in Tirutani in Tamil Nadu. He was India's first vice president and second president. He has written many books. The philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore attracted global attention to Indian philosophy. His philosophy is grounded in Advaita Vedanta. He defended Hinduism against uninformed Western criticism and he played a major role in the formation of contemporary Hindu identity. His other works are Indian philosophy, philosophy of the Upanishads, idealist view of life, Eastern religious and Western thought, East and West, some reflections. He was awarded Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award, in 1954. He received knighthood in 1931 and honorary membership of the British Royal Order of Merit in 1963. He was elected chairman of UNESCO's executive board in 1948. He was one of the founders of HelpAge India, a renowned NGO for elderly underprivileged in India. He had also formed the Krishnarpan Charity Trust along with Ghanshyam Das Birla and some other social workers in the pre-independence era. He was the first Indian to hold a chair at the University of Oxford, the Spalding Professor of Eastern Religion and Ethics. He was appointed Haskell Lecturer in Comparative Religion at the University of Chicago. So this is about the contributions of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan ji. So this is about Narayana Guru. Sri Narayana Guru had preached, he had led a reform movement in Kerala. He rejected casteism. He promoted new values of spiritual freedom and social equality. He stressed the need for spiritual and social upliftment of the downtrodden by their own efforts. Through the establishment of temples, educational institutions, he denounced the superstitions that clouded the fundamental Hindu cultural convention of caste. He preached the oneness of humanity. He crossed the boundaries of caste and creed. He installed an idol of Shiva at Aravipuram in Kerala in his effort to show that the consecration of God's image was not a monopoly of Brahmins. It became the famous Aravipuram movement. He actually consecrated one temple in Kalvankode where he kept mirrors instead of idols. He said there is a divine in every individual and you should pray for it instead of idol worships. He also had founded a Advaita Ashrama in Kaladi in Kerala. He lent his support to Vaikom Satyagraha, which was aimed at temple entry. In Travancore, for the lowest caste, Mahatma Gandhi met Guru during this time of Vaikom Satyagraha, where they aimed at temple entry movements in Travancore. So it was 164th birth anniversary of Sri Narayana Guru on 2nd September. So and that's why we had him in news. And this is the famous stone chariot of Hampi. We saw this was in news because Ministry of Tourism in its latest webinar, it had titled Hampi, inspired by the past going into the future, under the Dekho Apna series webinar. Here, this series has been an effort to showcase India's rich diversity under Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat program. This is by the Ministry of Tourism. Here you should know about Hampi. In 1336 AD, the Vijayanagara Empire arose from the ruins of Kampali Kingdom. It grew into one of the famed Hindu empires of South India and ruled over 200 years. The site has been multi-religious, multi-ethnic, and it includes Hindu and Jain monuments next to each other. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it has more than 1600 surviving remains of the last great Hindu kingdom of South India. The buildings are mainly Dravidian style, and you should know about some of the columns in this temple have some ability to produce music. It is the last capital of the last great Hindu kingdom of South, that is Vijayanagara. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The name is derived from the Pampa Nadi, which is the old name of Tungabhadra River, on whose banks the city is built. So this is a rare inscription of Renati Cholas, which is found or unearthed in a remote village of Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. It is engraved on a dolomite slab and shield. This is a part of fragmentary pillar excavated from a farmer's field. Here you can see the inscription has been written in archaic Telugu. It was assigned to the 8th century AD when the region was under the rule of Chola Maharaja of Renadu. They have written about 6 marthus. Marthus is a measuring unit of land to the Brahmin priest. Some lines are indicative of the priority given to moralities in those days. So please remember about this Renadu Cholas. They are the Telugu Cholas of Renadu, the present day Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. They were the feudatories of the Chola dynasty, and they claim they belong to Karikala Chola dynasty, and they are the first kingdom to use Telugu administration and inscription instead of Sanskrit. So catch you from 4 to 5 now at Unacademy platform on PYQs just in 5 minutes. And tomorrow let's catch for another session on art and culture and news from 3 to 4. Till then, take care. Bye. Like and share the video and press bell button. You can follow my profile on Unacademy platform. My name is Shilpa and you can follow me there. Use my code Shilpa10 for any subscription. You will get additional discounts. Thank you.